My day-to-day is I've got this family in my house with my wife, Robyn. The girls are doing music all summer long. We do stuff like this game right here, only it's usually with guitars and music.
Whether or not I remind them about their siblings and talk about them and show them the pictures and stuff like that.
Is TLC finally throwing in the towel on this on-air, doubling down on the biggest reality TV controversy of all time? The buzz over season 20 of Sister Wives is no longer hushed. It's a roar, and 2025 may be the year the entire Brown universe explodes, as whispers circulate regarding Robyn's seclusion and Cody's secretive contract renegotiation. The web is on fire with speculation of suspended filming, buried footage, and a betrayal-ridden spin-off that has the potential to permanently fracture the Brown moniker. What's Christine doing back in front of a camera suddenly? What's Janelle demanding not shoot without a licensed therapist on set? And who let slip the bombshell of the hidden Vegas recordings that listeners were never intended to hear? If season 18 was chaos, season 20 is the allowed explosion. And believe Memphis is a blaze you're going to want to see burn. But to appreciate how deep this reaches, you need to go back. Way back. Beyond midnight in Flagstaff, the quiet in Robyn Brown's bedroom was the type that chokes rather than calms. The blinds closed, the air stagnant, and each object in the room waiting for something. On the nightstand, there was a phone that glowed dimly. One missed call. Garrison. No message. No call back. Just a name and suspended animation. Robyn never spoke of that call to anyone. To Cody? Not then. Not ever. She allowed it to get lost under notifications, group threads, and missed alarms, but it never actually went away. Because that quiet, it wasn't absence. It was choice. This is where it all begins to break apart. Weeks later, amidst a bitter custody fight between Cody and one of the ex-wives, a private investigator was retained. They didn't hope for mukti-stamped messages and some call records. What they uncovered instead, a locked audio file buried within an encrypted folder of Robyn's old cloud backup. No name, only a date. A date no one would ever forget once they'd heard what was on it. Garrison himself had recorded the Kala military habit. Document everything, particularly the agony. And his voice, it hadn't pleaded, it hadn't shaken, it bled. You and Dad wrecked this family, he told her, rock hard and unblinking, as though the words had been sewn into his heart. He doesn't call, he doesn't visit. Not because of us. Because of you. Robyn's voice rang through, distant but biting, enough to slice. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe you should have just shut up, stayed in line. You could hear the internet ignite. The leak did not blow because of what was said, it broke everything because of when it was said. That call wasn't old. It had just been placed days before Garrison died, a missed call. A son's last reach, not to make amends, but simply to be heard. And Robyn's silence her decision sold the Brown family's reputation in sorrow. The file spread like wildfire. No forward, no disclaimer, just raw, unadulterated heartbreak. Podcasts dissected it, frame by frame. YouTubers paused on Robyn's response. Mental health content creators made it a cautionary tale. News headlines blared the call that shattered the Browns. But to the family, not a crack. It buried them in Las Vegas. Cody was pacing a hotel room between panels at a men's retreat when he clicked the anonymous email and pressed play. The words stung more than anything he'd endured on camera. No, 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 no. He groaned, ripping at the phone, as if he could silence it. But Garrison's voice continued to play, and when Robyn's voice came back, maybe it's better this way, Cody dropped to his knees next to the bed. He didn't weep. He just gazed. Because somewhere deep down, he knew that this wasn't a shock. It was just irrefutable now. The news ripple spread. Quickly Janelle first heard it from her friend. Did you hear it yet? Within minute 2, she was balled up on the kitchen floor, sobs buried beneath her arms. Christine didn't sob. She remained immobile, phone laid flat on the table. I always knew, she whispered. But hearing it from his voice it's different. And Meri. She made a post that evening, white lettering, black background. Lies have short legs, but truth stands tall even when it's too late. No tags, no caption, just that. Even TLC wasn't immune to it. They issued a public statement. We are extremely saddened by the death of Garrison Brown, and are examining how sensitive material was accessed and used. But then it was too late. The truth had done what seasons of silence could note. It finally spoke. And that which it spoke had a date, just days before Garrison was dead, and then the sit-down. But this wasn't your typical TLC reunion. No golden lighting, no plush pillows. Just one long wooden table, blinding white lights, and tension so thick it could split. Robyn sat at one end of it, fists tightly clenched in her lap. Cody sitting next to her but distant, like a phantom in his own body. Facing them, Meri, Christine, and Janelle, but immovable. This was not about closure. This was about confrontation. Meri went first. Her voice didn't shake, but it was etched with lifetimes of anguish. You explained to him it was for the best, she said slowly and precisely. Tell me, Robyn, what did you mean? Robyn winced as if slapped. I didn't mean it like that. Meri didn't flicker an eyelash, but you said it. Silence yawned open like thunder. Christine had her arms crossed rigidly. Janelle refused to even glance up. Cody slowly turned, hardly able to whisper. We had no idea he was that hurt. Meri slammed her fist on the table. We did. We just preferred not to see it. Robyn collapsed, not the scripted thing we've seen on television, but something rough, shattered, irreparable. And yet, still, nobody reached to comfort her. Because comfort is not a given, it has to be worked for. Even as the cameras rolled, a phrase from Gabriel's private DM resonated in every corner of the room. He needed your love, not your excuses. And now he's gone. And it didn't end there. Janelle had quietly begun a private group chat with the intention of building a virtual space for healing. She invited the kids Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon. No drama. Just peace. For days, it was just condolences, heart emojis, silence. Then Dayton finally answered, Mom, I heard the call too. I can't pretend anymore. An hour later, Aurora responded, You said things I can't unhear. I thought people misunderstood you. But now I don't think I ever knew you at all. Robyn remained silent. Her silence screamed. And then Brianna exited the chat. Soon, so did Solomon. Their icons flickered out like lights down a corridor. One at a time, they disappeared. And Robyn. She just kept typing. Deleting. Typing some more. No one answered. But it wasn't just virtual. Dayton had relocated to student housing. Aurora had packed 2 suitcases and driven to Christine's in Utah. Solomon was temporarily left with Cody's sister while legal custody was transferred. Robyn, for the first time, alone. No chaos. No noise. Just a haunted silence she couldn't outrun. The house was a shell, curtains crooked, dishes untouched, grief dripping from the corners like condensation. She wandered room to room, a stranger, in the life she built. The mirrors continued to reflect a mother, but not one her children knew. And what hurt wasn't what they said, it was what they didn't. No arguments. No resolution. Just doors closing softly. Footsteps receding into the distance. And the gentlest, most brutal echo of all, he was my brother too. And then Janelle walked in the door. No knock. No warning. No camera crew. She hadn't intended to come back. Not after the reunion. Not after Robyn's tears had fallen like broken glass, dramatic. Yes, but never deep enough to scar. But something had cracked when Aurora showed up in Utah, crying. That noise, that instant tore the last thread. Robyn was not just grieving. She was reenacting the drama again, cunningly positioning herself as the center of an agony she had created. The front door swung open. Robyn slumped in the dark kitchen, over an untouched cup of tea, mascara cracked around her eyes, hair tangled from countless sleepless nights. What are you doing here? She croaked, her voice empty. Janelle didn't blink. To complete this, to speak what's been buried, and to ensure you can't spin it into another pity show. Robyn blinked dull glassy. You don't get it. Janelle moved closer. No, I get it. You don't get to be the victim anymore. Not after you spoke to Garrison. Not after the man you allowed Cody to become. Every tear you've shed was a strategy. Every silence a calculation. This family did not disintegrate around you. It fell apart because of you. Robyn's hands shook around the cup. I didn't intend for any of this. Janelle's tone cut harder. Not that you lost them. That you pushed them away. The kitchen was heavy with silence. Janelle faced the mantel, took up a frame of smiling faces in a time when Robyn was not yet in their lives. From her pocket, she took out a note and placed it by the picture. That's from Aurora, she said, not glancing around. She returned when you stopped lying to yourself. Robyn didn't go for it. Janelle exited out the front door without further comment. That's time. She didn't glance back. What followed didn't begin with closure, it began with a digital time bomb. A sentence no sibling should ever see. If I vanish. Garrison's incomplete email, hidden on an ancient laptop, was no good by it. Was Anne reckoning, a begging, a map? Don't let them tell a lie about how I felt. Don't let them sob over a version of me that they wouldn't listen to. He appointed Janelle as the person to guide what followed. He requested truth, not sweetening. He ended it in 7 words that went right to the heart. I just wanted to be heard, and they named it Heard, a charity founded by Brown siblings in Garrison's memory, to deal with mental illness and the needs of veterans. Gabriel led the initial meeting. Madison constructed the board. Logan took care of the legalities. Leon even returned quietly to assist with outreach. Gwen programmed the site. And Janelle, firm, steady, unwavering, watched her children become what Garrison never had a chance to be: heard, united, visible. The release occurred at sundown in Salt Lake City. More than 500 individuals, veterans, therapists, old acquaintances lit candles, one by one, a flame for each vow to improve. No spot was held for Cody. None for Robyn. That blank space spoke volumes. Gabriel approached the mic, voice quivering once, just once. He wasn't just my brother, he started, he was my reflection. He laughed too loud, loved too much, bore more than he ought to. He pleaded that we hear. We did not. But I shall now. I will be his voice. The audience rose up in applause, but Gabriel did not linger to enjoy it. He descended, candle in his possession, and knelt at a plaque that bore only, "He was more than the silence." Behind him, the sky burned pink and gold, like Garrison was finally seen. You'd think that was the final chapter, but it wasn't. Not even close. Hundreds of women sat in stunned silence, expecting a soft panel on healing. Instead, they watched Meri Brown, long cast as the quiet one, torch decades of spin with surgical calm. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. I was never his partner in Flagstaff, she explained. By then, I was a prop. Then she brought them back to Vegas cul-de-sac fantasies and the cold darkness behind closed doors. That's where Robyn began rewriting everything. She went on. It wasn't just Cody falling for her, it was her telling him in his ear, "You deserve peace, not chaos," and we became the chaos somehow. The crowd gasped. Meri explained how Robyn silently navigated Cody's feelings, how tears at the right moments, how love was used as a means of manipulation. And then there was the punch to the gut. One evening, during dinner, Cody and Robyn smiled at me and said, "Perhaps it's time you begin referring to yourself as the family aunt. It would be less confusing." Robyn sipped her wine. I excused myself and cried in the parking lot for 2 hours. Audible gasps. One woman shouted no. From the back row. Meri didn't even blink. She wanted to control everything. Emotional, she got it. And now she's shocked it all collapsed. Her kids left. We're done playing along. The audience stood in a wave of cheers. Women wept and applauded. Somewhere in Sedona. Robyn saw the live stream, but she didn't watch until the end. She shut off her phone and barricaded herself in her bedroom for 3 days. Because this time, Meri wasn't merely heard, she was believed. But the lowest blow came not from the stage, but from the courtroom. Gossip became evidence: a leaked PDF, an unsealed filing from Coconino County. Cody Brown had formally divorced Robyn. Quietly, no fanfare, no farewell. But the shock didn't even end there. Custody of Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna withdrawn. Effective immediately. Robyn didn't learn it from him. She received it as a text. A forwarded link. She panicked, called Cody crying. No one answered. For 3 days, she left voicemails pleading, falling apart. When he finally called, it was brief, cold, absolute. "I hear your voice on that recording. Every night." A pause, then nothing. Then a click. Whatever facade of love Robyn had retained, it ended with that call. What came after wasn't anger, it was surrender. Her children, shaken by Cody's infidelity, and Robyn's deconstructing shame, gathered their belongings silently. Dayton lingered last. He didn't embrace her. He had left his phone on the counter, screen facing upwards. A text from Aurora pulsed. "We can't repair this for you." Robyn fell onto the kitchen floor of a home once constructed on unity. Now empty walls that echo with guilt. No cameras rolling here. No TLC spin to mellow out the tale. No PR script, just a woman by herself. The legal wife reduced to legal stranger. The empire she sought to lay claim to now, in shambles, not by Christine, or Meri, or even Janelle. But Cody, and the specter of the son she would not listen to. These days, she strolls by herself under the Arizona sun. Hair swept back in a hurry, lips set in a tight line. No ring, only a sack of bruised apples and store-brand cereal. Her flannel clings to the faded outline of a life that's come undone. The photo that landed on Reddit was grainy and zoomed in, but it was clearly her. Robyn Brown, not scandalized, alone. Behind her, stapled to a rusty pole, a flyer fluttered in the wind. Missing cat, answers to shadow. She didn't glance up, didn't even see it. Didn't catch the irony behind her like a worn-out guilt. Shadow used to whisper in hallways. Split allegiances, bring doubt. Now it's all she has remaining. No mansion. No wives. No crew. Just a woman in flannel becoming part of the background of a town that had forgotten she existed. And yet, the cameras keep rolling. But the question is, for how much longer? Will season 20 be the final curtain? Or the greatest rebranding of betrayal ever? Undefined. If you're this far into the fire with us, subscribe. Because this is the sister show, and here, the drama isn't scripted.